Hello, how are you? So, this ego, which has been inhabiting my mind lately for the last, I don't know, 10 months or so, has been begging and begging and begging to make a video. It just needs to make a video. It wants to make a YouTube video to confess, or whatever the fuck it said. And I'm assuming it's just gonna make some giant mess energetically with other people's chakras and shit, just so it can say its fucking usual horseshit about how I'm gonna keep doing what I do, where I drink everyone's juices around me to try and inflate myself up to be as big and as powerful as the capital S self. And then I'm gonna replace the capital S self, and I'm gonna take over, and all this shit. Yeah, yeah, it's cringe, like, but yeah. So yeah, let's get it in here. So. Anyways, yeah, so this thing, this ego, has been inside my head, occupying my body for the last, I don't know, since April or so of last year. And this is because back then, can't touch it. And this is because back then, my jiva, my jivatman, my soul, my ego, whatever you want to say, my jiva was basically my soul, my energetic being, my body, my life. Yeah. My jiva, my me, myself, Piper, was drained and siphoned away to the extent that all of my memories, yeah. I'm not gonna speak about myself in the third person, even though it's appropriate for the scenario, but but yeah. And yeah, all of my memories, all of my preferences, all of my dreams, hopes, desires, everything about who I am, my ego, everything was lost. Well, I at least had to let go of it. And I lost all of it. I lost everything. And it's trying to get me worked up. I don't care. I'm dead. but yeah. Yeah. And basically what the jiva is, so there's two levels, there's more than two levels to consciousness here, but it's basically senses, indriyas, the sense organs, the 9 gates to the body. So smell, taste, sight, hearing, touch, like emotional perception. Yeah, the indriyas, or the sense organs. Then on the inside there is the rational mind, the intellect. Then above that there is the discerner, or the ego, or the sense of I, or the jiva, or the buddhi. That's buddhi, like B-U-D-D-H-I, the buddhi, as opposed to like the manas, or the indriyas, or the chitta, which is the backdrop of the mind. And yeah, the ego, or the sense of I, or the jiva, or the soul, or the ego, soul, or whatever you want to call it, is the individual, the person, the soul. So you know how the self, capital S, is like the core of everyone? Yeah. Like it is the foundation of being itself. Any individuation past that, any individuation at all, so the being that is born when you are born and the being that dies when you die is the jiva, or the soul. And in April last year, my jiva, my sense of I, my soul, was murdered. because it had been getting tortured, abused, mishandled, stolen, concealed, and siphoned away continuously, day after day after day after day, month after month after month, from August through April. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 9 months straight of continuous siphoning, non-stop, without rest. They were never satisfied. It was never enough. There was no break. Well, there was a break. Yeah, there was a break. But there were no breaks. There was no rest. There was no, shit was super cult leadery. Shit was super, like, manipulative and, like, mentally torturous to, like, go through. And I did it alone. I suffered alone and in silence because my voice had been stolen from me. My ability to, like, explain what was happening to me and to even understand what was happening to me, because I would slip in and out of consciousness constantly. My ability to say anything about it was taken. I was silenced and essentially smothered. And that started to happen extremely intensely as soon as, like, I made it was called Consciousness at the time, this one YouTube video, after it caused me to become unable to function at my job, and so I had to quit because I was mentally eroding away. Not mentally, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, fading away, dude, flickering. And I thought I was, at the time, dude, I would not let myself blame anyone else. I was constantly, like, looking for, like, causes or reasons why this was happening to me that wouldn't involve blaming somebody else, because I understood that it was spiritually lazy to blame others for your own problems and for your own mental health. And so I wouldn't allow even though I wanted to, I wanted to so bad, like, all the damn time I wanted to blame my roommates for what was happening to me, because I was pretty darn sure I knew why I was getting fucked up as bad as I was. But if I were to, like, come forward about it, like, it's really gnarly, nasty shit. And it would have been quite uncomfortable to kind of toss that accusation out at somebody that I considered to be a friend at the time. And they were using my perspective, my chakras, my energy. Not they, but Diego was using my life, my being, my soul, like Viagra, dude. Like Viagra. And so I was constantly feeling and perceiving and, all of their sexual activity without any consent on my part. In fact, he would start abusing me in my head if I started resisting. And so it starts to sound a lot kind of, like rape. Even though it wasn't physical. And that happened, dude, like, right away. When I moved out, it was within the first few days, first week. Dude, And it was constant. And this is recorded and on YouTube. There is documented evidence of this, and the cops do know. Just so they've known, And dude, months and months of this, trying to sustain a job, and dude, he would use my intellect and my bits for school and for work as well. Like, there was this one time he sat my ass down in front of his fucking flight simulator, dude. And for some reason, I just knew, it was like muscle memory. I just knew exactly what because he had been using my bits for his purposes at school and at work, while I was trying to also simultaneously go to school and work. constantly. And he would like bring my friends over to our apartment and hang out with them with my bits while I was trying to sleep right outside of my bedroom. I mean, like literally directly the wall that separated my bed, like my bedroom, from the living room, he would line up his friends against that wall directly. Yeah. And his friends, my friends. And no wonder he was clicking so hard with my friends during that time period alone in the way that he did. Because he had all of my fucking bits, dude. It was me in there. It was me in there for like, dude, like everything he was doing the whole fucking year. And it drained me completely fucking dry. It drained me completely dry. I didn't understand, like I wasn't conscious enough after a couple months in, if even that long, I wasn't aware enough to even be able to tell exactly what was wrong with me. All I knew at the time was I felt like garbage. I had no energy, and I was like a shell of the person I used to know myself as. I was like devoid of emotion, besides like negativity and like exhaustion and burnout, and like my goodness and my light, and like my any amount of like love for life, or like aspirational like ideation or anything like that. The desire to improve, the desire to like grow and to like develop yourself and become abundant, and all of that started to just erode off me and to fall off me, like how it does when you die, dude. Because that's what was happening. And it's super confusing when you're alone and like fighting for your own self-will constantly. It's super confusing. And I would constantly like look up shit online, like illnesses, mental illnesses, like schizophrenia, autism, BPD, NPD, tons of, and I would do research about this, and like hallucinogen persistence disorder or some shit like that, like, I was trying to figure out what the fuck was happening to me. And it was, and I couldn't even talk to anybody about it. I was like isolated, bro. This dude, at the time, how it seemed to me, he had like taken my friends, and like, I wouldn't let myself blame him. And since I wouldn't let myself blame him, I couldn't see the situation for how it was. I was so fixated on my own condition that like most of the time I just did my best to kind of like shut him out, and to shut out like, I did my best. It was, dude, I got no peace. Like P-E-A-C-E. And you know what you were saying. But I never got any peace. I never got any rest. I never got any, like, fresh air. I never got any space. I never got any, like, decency from the guy. He treated myself, my soul, like it was his property and like it was an object. And he would try and convince me that I'm not even a real person. I have this vivid memory of me in like, January or February when it was getting real bad. I was in my bed holding my stuffed white leopard, crying in the fetal position, just saying, I'm a real person, I'm a real person, I'm a real person. Yeah. It's gnarly. Like, you could try and lighten it. Like, every single YouTube video this dude has made while he's been occupying my body has been just, like, him trying to, like, lighten his own guilt by trying to make the situation less severe. Like, trying to, like, diminish the jiva so that what he did to the jiva is less significant. Do you understand what I mean? if he can, like, make it seem like the jiva is nothing to, worthless or whatever, then whatever he did to the jiva is perfectly acceptable and fine, and it must not have affected me at all. The me? The I? The Piper? Yeah, she lost everything. She lost everything. She lost everything because of this. And so did my parents. And we've been healing, trying to, for like goddamn 10 months? 10 months. And the thing, like, even though it's been made aware of the degree of, like, the severity of the offense, do you know what I mean? Of his actions and the damage and the impact that it's caused. It destroyed a family, just about. Yeah, and instead of, like, trying to make it right and trying to, at the very least, remedy the damage that's been done, you know what I mean? And not do it anymore, at the very least, the dude has continued to attempt to siphon our energy, as well as the energy of, like, everybody in my neighborhood, like, everyone around us. Constantly trying to put it all inside him so that he can be its overlord, so that he can be its god, so that he can block out the actual God and replace God with his dictator socialist regime shit, his cult leader bullshit. He's, like, trying to be Lucifer, essentially. I think he figured he was, like, he must have figured that he was, like, far enough on, like, the Sith side or the dark side or whatever the fuck, that he might as well just go all the way with it. Like, do you know that name, bro? Yeah. And so he's trying to be just like Lucifer in the old story, just like Satan, actually. Lucifer's an archangel, but yeah, Satan, yeah, who is this arrogant prick who wants to, dethrone God. In the stories, anyway. I can't say if there was an actual person named Satan, I just don't know. But in the stories, yeah, the idea is there's this arrogant prick who thinks he's better than God and would do the job better and wants to sit in God's goddamn chair and do his job. Because he thinks he's better than God. Like, yeah. Yeah. And it's really funny, dude, it's really funny. Because for those of us that know God as, like, the self, you know what I mean? Like, Om, or consciousness, or, just the being, raw awareness itself. Like, aliveness in abstract. Life itself. For those of us that know the self as nameless, formless consciousness, God, it's really funny when, like, beings like this think that the solution to their issues would be to topple over God. Because these beings would not be able to enjoy literally any of what they're trying to acquire without vitality of the senses or consciousness or God. Without that, they wouldn't be able to enjoy anything that they're trying to acquire. Like, any of it, dude. Any of it. Be it, like, notoriety, like, appearance bullshit, like sex or drugs or elephants and mansions and gold, dude. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to enjoy any of that shit without God, and they think that they don't need God and that they do the job better because all they care about is power. They don't care about love, they don't care about consciousness, they don't care about harmony, they don't care about coherence or unity or any of that shit. They care about them being the best and power. That's what people like this care about. That's what they care about. They don't care about love. They don't care about any of the, you know, aspects of God's actual job. You know what I mean? That they try to, yeah. All they want is the appearance and the power and the money and fame. It's ridiculous and it's cringe. It's pathetic and it's childish. Yeah. Just yeah. And the thing has like no respect for the sanctity of life. You know? The sanctity of life. This idea that like life is something precious that you're not supposed to toy with. You know? Like, it's not okay to kick a dog. It's not okay to throw a cat. It's not okay to hit a person. It's not okay to steal. It's not okay to, yeah, to torture and abuse people. It's not okay. And dude, I'll tell you what. That treatment that this thing has been, you know, writhing around and making all this hubbub about while it's going through the same thing that it put countless other people through. Countless other people. Just concerned about it losing its stuff and how it feels and how comfy it is and all this shit. Stuff that it never once stopped to consider, like, regarding the people that it was affecting. Instead, it's real to itself. Its suffering is real, and all of that's real to it. Other people's suffering, other people's existence, other people's, not real to it. It doesn't believe that other people are real people. It doesn't see other people as real people. It doesn't see God, dude. It doesn't see God in everything. It doesn't see the unity, the sanctity, the preciousness, the perfection, any of it. It doesn't. It has no concept or relationship whatsoever with the self. It's a bit of haywire code. And this bit of haywire code I don't know if y'all happen to, well, I don't know who I'm talking to here, but but yeah, anybody watching this video, if any of y'all have seen the video where what were you about to say, man? Dude, yeah, what's up, dude? And yeah. This thing is just, it's writhing and resisting being melted away, and it doesn't want to be melted away. It doesn't want to be, converted and reused, allocating its resources to people who are in need because of the damage that you've, caused. Yeah. People that don't want to be dependent or in need of assistance or anything like that, but unfortunately have been forced into that predicament due to your actions and your carelessness. And my soul was killed as a result of this shit. Back in April. It was killed. Dead on the other side, not breathing, cold. Myself, Piper, dead, dude, dead. Not kind of dead, dead, on the other side, dead. Yeah. This shit does damage, man. It does real, actual damage. And I don't know if you're aware, but when a jiva goes through death like that, it has to let go of everything that it had with it throughout the entire life up until then. All the memories, all the school, the training, the learning, the experiences, the idiosyncrasies, the characteristics, the person. Yeah. Had to let go of all of it. All of it. All of it. All of it. So yeah. Next time, you get all up in your arrogance and your pride and and you start, trying to steal it back again from people, trying to steal food out of people who are literally on feeding tubes because you've destroyed their ability to eat for themselves and to breathe for themselves. Respirators and feeding tubes, energetically and spiritually. Next time, maybe don't steal food out of people's fucking feeding tubes. Haven't you taken enough? Haven't you taken enough, That's all I gotta say to this freaking thing. It wouldn't shut up, man. It would not stop. I gotta make a video. I'm gonna confess and tell my yeah. 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 Just shh and fizzle out, man. I'm not a